Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year! Welcome to day 47, the first day of the Fire Horse year. So I woke up this morning and there's this eclipse at the moment that I want to speak to a little bit, and maybe you are recognizing yourselves as well. So I read up a little bit on the fire eclipse, everything fire, of course. And that it's this emotional release of what we've been through. And this morning I woke up and I was just crying and crying and crying. It was just this release. And yesterday was like the end of the snake year, so there's a definite transition that I'm noticing in my body. And Simpa supported me so much, and that felt really, really good. So and I could speak to the things that I was feeling, and I was able to process them. And after that, I'm so tired. I'm just so tired. And so interesting was that afterwards, I was sitting in the sun, just soaking in the sun for a long time. So I'm probably a little bit sunburned. I could have been there forever, it felt like. And I was processing and integrating. And when I got up and was gonna go to the shower, something opened up at the bottom of the spine. So it happened like 30 minutes ago, so I'm not too familiar with what's going on yet, but I've been walking a little bit and I can feel my hips are much, much more open, and there's a tension at the bottom that is gone. And the energy that I was processing this morning, or the energy in motion, was abandonment. So that is it's like the safety, when you're young and abandoned, then that group goes to safety. So there's something about that, and I can understand that there's the tiredness, and it feels like it's the snake in me, the snake in snake year, that kind of like, we made it. That is kind of as a relay, handing it over to the horse, like, go, I'm gonna go over here and snaky myself, and you can go run whatever you want. I'm gonna stay here in the sun and like so it's all hot also. So there's definitely something going on. Turn that down a bit. Okay, so today we have the final part, or the second part, of the horse energy. I mean, we will probably mention the horse energy furthermore, but I want to finish what I didn't yesterday. So one thing that I connected, and this is just for myself, so this is that it's the void. And then I was sitting in that void, and then I heard voice. So it's this speaking into the void, that energy. And then I realized, that's exactly what I'm doing in the 108 days. I just pressed play. I didn't know what I was doing. Like, I didn't know exactly what it was going to become. So I just started to co-create with the void. So I started speaking out to the void, and then things started coming back. And then this is happening. So that is very much fire horse energy. I'm going to drink my fire horse tea. So the the two parts of the, I want to speak a little bit more to that. There's two parts of the fire horse energy that is, so we want to balance the energy, and we want to, and so it's like the energies of the horse, the energies of the years have different characteristics that thousands of years they gave the combination of the animal and the element to describe the energy of the current. So there are these astrological currents that is creating these energetic like winds that we have to, I mean, we don't have to do anything, but if we know what they are, we can adapt. So we can adapt and we can align with the characteristics, and we can kind of foresee, okay, this is the type of energies, these are the types of challenges, and this is how I will navigate them. So the better equipped we are with ourselves and understanding like what is going on and why are things happening as they are, because then the system, my system, can easily feel comfortable, because that's what we want. We want to feel as comfortable as possible with whatever is going on. And the people who can manage themselves and manage the energy and manage the nervous system, they can, you know, look at and adapt and amplify. So there's opportunities in every single year if you know how, like if you understand the characteristics of the energetics that is going on in that particular current. And then I have a particular current and you have a particular current, so we will react a little bit differently, and we all have different circumstances, but the main energies are the same for the year. So if we look at the shadow side of the current that is here now, that is the burnout, the stress and the intensity. And I really want to highlight that, because we spoke about that a little bit yesterday, but I really want to highlight that that is the shadow side. That is not the good side of the horse energy, because we might come too close to the sun and get burnt because we misunderstood that I'm not going to become the fire horse. I'm going to align with the fire horse, and I need to balance myself out. And that is why understanding your energetic setup. So you have your energetic setup, and then you have your imprints, your traumas, and your past experiences. So, and then you combine that with the energetics of the year. And depending on your, so the more unprocessed energy you have in your body, the more difficult it is going to be to react in a balanced way, because the body has its own like reactional system. So the more neutral you can be, the more aligned you can be, and then it's easier to kind of just map into whatever and follow and amplify and kind of benefit from that. So if we align with the fire horse and think that we will become the fire horse and just speed up and increase intensity, and like, this is the energy of the year, so that means I have that energy. No. It doesn't mean that you are the fire horse unless you are born in fire horse year. It means that that is the current that is moving through the wind. So that's not the same thing. So if you align with that, then, or if you become that, then you're going to get burned out. But if you are balanced and you learn how to navigate it, that means that there's millions of opportunities available if we align and not become. So it's the opportunities, the freedom, the courage, the success, the flaming heart, the passion, the creation. So if we balance ourselves, it's like if we balance ourselves and go inside and regulate and start to create from that silence, then we can present that into the opportunities that will present us and give us the freedom and the acceleration and the speed. So it's like you create and then you merge that with the fire horse energy. So that is two very different things. So I wanted to speak to that. And the way, if we're feeling like the fire horse is okay, I'm getting trampled by the fire horse, or I also did the analogy that riding a horse is not always super comfortable, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So if you know what you're doing, it's still strenuous. I mean, it's hard work to be on a horse, especially if it's going fast. But if you don't know what you're doing and you want to slow the tempo down and like, okay, I okay, I gotta learn here. Slow it down. Okay, I gotta adapt, and then we can speed up again. And that is to bring in the water energy. So really aligning with, okay, we have fire everywhere. How can I bring in the water? So really balancing it out with the water, so calming down the emotions, regulating the nervous system, working with the fear, kidney energy, bladder energy. So the organ to support during the fire horse year is the bladder. So the bladder is deeply connected with all the things that is going on in the root. So it's deeply connected with the survival and the fear and the safety or non-safety. So the bladder, and that's very interesting because that's already showing up with our clients. So that's super interesting. And the energy that we are moving from, so we have these paradigms that we are moving into. We spoke a little bit that the masculine paradigm is falling a bit, and we're stepping into the energetics and the feminine and the fluidity and the other type of energy. And what I wanted to add into that conversation is that we're moving away from like knowledge and data, like numbers, and we're moving away from those hard facts, and we're moving into knowledge and wisdom. So it's more, so if we have knowledge and data here, we have wisdom in the coming energy. So it's more like auspicious. And I think that's why I'm also feeling called to teach more of the principles of what I have learned, because the micromanagement that we are seeing, and that is a part of the noise, that it's like, I did like this, you get my formula and just do what I did, and then it doesn't work. So there's this lack of trust when trying to figure this way out, because we are mapping the exact ways that people are doing instead of finding your own way and adapt yourself. And that is why it's so important to be in tune with your energetic setup and your characteristics, and understanding what is my core being and what is my imprints from the past that is still running the show and has created, multiple different personality traits inside of myself that I have added on because other people are doing it, because I needed to protect myself. I didn't feel safe in certain situations. I wanted to be not appreciated, but accepted in school, and all the things that then also kind of sticks. And those are the things that, okay, then the more of those that I can leave behind and really step into my authentic self, that is going to be a currency that is going to be highly valued. And we touched a little bit upon this, because the AI and the noise is taking over. So we are going to be it's going to be much more important that the body to body interaction feels natural. And I've been contemplating this a little bit more, actually, and I'm noticing in myself that I'm looking at other coaches over time who's becoming more and more professional, and talking sometimes about the importance of learning to speak correctly, to be a speaker and performance, express in a way that so there's these techniques and these formulas of how to express yourself, to be successful, to create trust, to sell more, and yada yada yada. And as I look back at the older material from some of these people, and that's how I realized this, because I noticed that I was I felt differently with the older videos because they were less polished. That I felt more free to be myself when I felt a difference in my body, and I was like, so I reacted to that, and that was a couple of weeks ago. And as this is unfolding, I can see, okay, so if I put that into my own experience here, sitting here on a live YouTube call, having this experience with the blackouts, and also thinking about English is not my first language. Should I be taking a language lesson? Should I take English lessons? Should I learn to speak more profoundly? Should I learn more complicated words? Should I be better? Should I be better? So this constant, like, am I not enough? It's this, and I'm seriously questioning that sensation in my body. It's like, I don't want this feeling. So, okay, so if that's a belief system, if maybe I don't need that, and then I go, and I see the trend, and I see my own reaction to the person that I really value and I really respect, and all the new stuff is also absolutely fantastic. I have nothing to say about that, but I'm just noticing the difference, and I'm noticing the difference in myself. So for her, that's the perfect way. And this is what I mean, like, if we are constantly looking at other people and I need to do the same, that's not going to work. Because the point is to be unique. The point is to be authentic. And the point is that we are all different. That is why we have to accept all the multiple truths, because it's just, even twins, one egg, what do you call it? One egg twins that are exactly the same. They're not the same. They just look the same and they have the same, but life is gonna, transform them differently. And once you get to know them, you realize that they don't look exactly the same. So we're not supposed to be the same. And when we try to be the same, and especially what I don't like is that I need to transform myself so that other people trust me more. That's like putting on like this is something that I've been thinking about. Like maybe I'm saying like too much. And these things, questioning yourself constantly, that is the problem. It's not the fact that I don't speak perfectly and pronouncing everything correctly and yada, yada, yada. I don't believe that anymore. And when we are when these type of conversations are coming in and around the fire horse year, my body goes, I know what I understand, because I can feel that in my body. And I look at the things that I've been experiencing and I say, yes, that's how it is. And this is how I feel about it. And the liberation that is coming, the freedom that is coming. So that is what I mean. What does freedom in the horse year mean? So for me, it means I'm going to let go of all that crap and just be myself. And I actually believe that that's going to serve me better, because that creates a freedom in, I go like, yes, who cares? I'm me. It's not that I don't give a shit. It's not that attitude. It's the freedom of expression. And when we release the fears along the spine, that bit starts to become natural. And that is the opportunity that we have with the fire horse year, is that it targets these particular energetics. And that is where understanding that and realize and being in deep connection with the body, so that you can listen and understand and adapt and then create from that. So yesterday we said that creation is one of the main energies of the fire horse year. It's the passion, it's the heart. That is truth. That is not, and that is not the artificial. That is the quirky, unique human that is fully themselves. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't invest in yourself and transform yourself, because that's just the opposite of what I've been doing. I've been taking every single penny I've had and put it in developing myself for 10 years, because that has been my absolute priority. What I'm saying is that I will continue to do all those things, but I'm not gonna go and learn to speak correctly. I'm not going to invest in that because I come from that I'm not good enough. I'm going to allow myself to be more myself over time and develop and trust that I will grow from experience. I will become better at what I do through practice and exposure therapy. And the more I speak and the more I talk, the more I'm going to learn, and the more then I'm going to develop as a human. That for me, those are two very different ways of approaching development. And I believe that coming from, I'm not enough, I need to learn something more before I go, in this year, that is the freedom, that is the courage. Freedom to be myself, freedom to express, freedom to run, freedom to try, freedom to fail. It's like, it's being courageous in my own being, in my own becoming, and understanding that when people are themselves, that is when you draw in other people, because you're showing that you are not afraid. And system to system, we are connecting with each other and we're speaking with each other. Words is the lowest form of communication. That is just a mouth and a mind and, nervous system talking. Like, what the body is saying is something completely different. So allowing yourself to be authentic in this year will give you more opportunities and more openings for success and freedom, and to allow the energy to move forward, to catapult you forward, not your stress and your nervous system and running around in flames. It's not what we want to do. And the challenge with all of this is going to be that we are a collective nervous system. So we're also going to feel what other people are feeling. So even if we are aligning and doing good, there's tons of stuff happening on the planet. So we are going to get affected by that, because we're also purging. I mean, this there's just so many illusions that are falling, and this is also tied back into the authenticality. I mean, Hollywood is kind of falling apart a little bit, or a lot, depending on how you see it, and this illusion of the perfection, and that is what's falling. This facade, because we're all just people. We're all just people. There's nothing better with anyone. And we talked a little bit about that with the obsession of artificial appearances. So that is on the decline, and it's like grassroots natural wisdom. It's like aging is becoming sacred. So it's this opposite of this. And no, I don't want to, this immortality illusion. That is just, what is that? That is, you're not aligning with nature and God, and because we are supposed to go in a cycle. We're supposed to live and die. And that this aging has become that your worth is less, and when you look at it, it doesn't make any sense. And that's what I mean. We move from knowledge and data from the mind and moving into wisdom, and that is when aging becomes sacred. And I'm seeing so many more women that is enjoying being older, and me too. I just feels better and better by the year. I mean, I'm so happy I'm not 20. Why, Jesus. Oh. So so it's this compound energy. Life is supposed to get better and better and better and better. So when we age in the sacredness, that's when you become like a good wine. You just get better and better and better. And then at your prime, you just pop. And the chapter is closed. But we can't fear that. That is, it's like we're acting like we're running in a high-speed train towards a mountain. It's just the whole approach is in my eyes, that's not how it works, because it doesn't make any sense. So looking at this, that the aging is becoming more sacred, that we are valuing the wisdom, we are valuing the auspicious, we value the people that have more knowledge, and that is where the feminine comes in, because we have the knowledge about the realms, we have the knowledge about the dreams, we have the knowledge about the field, we have the knowledge, we have the connection to Mother Earth, we have the connection to the atmospheres, we have the connection to the paradigms, we have all the connection to all of these other energetic fields that is affecting us. But if we only have I was talking about this, I don't know, yesterday, this morning, not sure, but that if we only live in the 3D world, it's like we having our head inside a honeycomb, and we're just in that little square, and we don't understand that there's multiple of those, and that we can learn in the difference, and it's the totality that is the key, and that is the feminine. And when you dig deeper and you look at what super successful people are doing, I mean, they are following astrology like their life depended on it. I mean, there's just everywhere, every single person that we come across, the deeper they are into, it's very interesting. So we're going away from also so if we're looking at the age, if we're shifting the energetics around the age and the knowledge into wisdom, we are also moving in, and the vanity aspect is a very good example, because we're moving away from manipulation into transparency and freedom. So you can see how manipulating the way that you look uh, becomes part of the artificial and the non-genuine, the non-authentic. And that doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want as long as you're aware of. People, I'm not saying that people who do nose jobs and Botox are not authentic. No, absolutely not. You can look super plastic and be extremely authentic as long as you are yourself. And this is the exact way that you know that you want to approach your life. Then you will be authentic in a million other ways. But it's the energy of it and why we are doing it. And if we are looking to fit in or if we are doing something else. So it's the energy that we're coming from. So the color of this year is red. I was so happy. I was like, oh, I want to wear something red, and I don't have anything. I don't have any red clothes. I only have white, and now I have a blue skirt and a green tank top, and I don't know. There's just like 3 things in there. And then I realized I bought this hat, or my mom bought me this hat. And I have these red earrings. So all of a sudden, I'm super red. So the color of red is the success. It's the passion. It's the heart, and it's the courage. It's the boldness. So that is the accessory accent color of the year. And the horses have these big hearts. They have this big passion, and they are very beautiful in that sense. But they are also easily spooked, and can just run off. So that is the energy. So you got to keep the horse calm. So the horse, you got to keep the body calm so it doesn't run away as the horse. So we are going from the knowledge and the thinking and the data. So we are moving from mind to heart. So it's the mind that is telling us we're not beautiful enough, we're not good enough, it's not safe to be authentic. And the heart says, yes, it is. Let's just be free. Let's just be who you are and allow that to unfold exactly how it's going to be. And the more I am myself, the better everything is going to be, because I'm going to attract the exact people that I like and that likes me, because there's no surprises. You know exactly who I am, and that's perfect. If I go live 108 days, you will see, like, if I'm consistent as a person, and you will see I'm allowing you to I'm showing my patterns. 33 27. Okay, it's going to be 33 soon. 33. So it's mind, heart, and the way to do it is to expand into the silence. The silence is the key. It's our friend. And as we spoke a little bit about yesterday, we're going away from this huge manufactured mega communities, and we're moving away from these the guru era is dead, and we're not blindly following people anymore. We are getting to know them. We are meeting in smaller circles, in smaller containers, smaller communities, and we get to know each other because we're the same. We're aligning with the same frequencies. We are aligning with the same currents. We are similar. So we're going to come into these hubs, as we spoke about yesterday. And so each and every person who's drawn to speak or to do this or to work with something or express something, they are becoming like lighthouses, So if one person steps out and shares their experience, and then others can gather, because you're the lighthouse, so you gather people, and then you're going to have your people, and then someone else is going to be a lighthouse a little bit further away. So we're going to spread out lighthouses all over the world. And that is why Simba and I mostly over the years have been working with other practitioners, because they know they are deep into this work, and they resonate with a lot of the things that we are talking about, and they understand that the bigger the connection with the self, the bigger my legacy will become. The more authentic I am, the bigger my legacy. The more I am in my energetics, the more I can create and feel power, empowered, stepping out and being in their purpose, and delivering the truth. And everyone is different. That is why if I'm trying to look like the other one over there, then the lighthouses are, no one's going to come to the lighthouses, because they're like, oh, the lighthouse, and they go, nah. And they're, oh, another lighthouse, and like, close, but there's something's off. And then if people are fully themselves and fully unique, and are not afraid of mistakes and the challenges and growth, because the growth is the progress of standing up, falling down, standing up, falling down. But if you're ashamed and embarrassed about that, and have to show up and just be the same every day, and hello, and like, if there's a performance involved, and then you're not a good performer every day, then the person that you're acting is not available. But it's like, no, I said like again, and then I reacted on it. If you're yourself, it's going to be way easier for people to find you. And on an energetic level, there's this sonar system that you're sending out, and the more you're aligned, and the more it's like ding ding, and then dee 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 dee. So that is why, and if we don't feel comfortable and relaxed being ourselves, then we have to try and and that is a typical, it's like going to I have to be fit before I go to the gym. I mean, how many times have I done that? Oh, I'm just gonna drop a few kilos of water, and then I'm gonna go to the gym because I will feel better. Like, doesn't make any sense. And it's just the shame and the embarrassment and not being enough and yada, and not being seen. I don't want to be seen like this. But the moment you drop that and realize that we're all human, nobody's perfect, and end of story. We spoke about the main energy is creation. So go create whatever that means. And that is such a wide topic, the creation. And it's you in your good stuff. Yeah, that's it. The only thing I had left was see if this is so it's adding in all the auspiciousness in the abstract and the invisible. That is the key, the feminine, to bringing in that mystery, that wisdom, that knowledge, that intuition, and all of that is done through the body connection. So it's the managing the realms where you know that there is no stop and there's no start and no end. There's just this constant flow. So it's the death and the rebirth process, and realizing that it's just two aspects of the same journey. It's like if we zoom out and this is where it might become a little bit too big. I'm not sure if this should be another conversation, but it's the being comfortable with the uncomfortable, in the void, the life and death, the night and day, the contrast. So understanding all of this and understanding the universal laws is the key to learn how to find that soul liberation and the freedom that we are looking for. So it's the detachment also. So it's the fire. The horse is a fire, so it's fire. There's a lot of fire going on, and that is the death and the rebirth, the transformation, the constant. So because something, a part of us is dying. It's this constant evolution of change, that there's small circles. And this is the energy of money. So it's understanding that it's the infinity, and we're part of that, but we are so deep in the physical realm that it hinders us from being free to a certain degree. So it's about knowing when to be where, and understanding that is the ascension, to rise above the fear of the existence of this planet. Maybe that became too big, but it's like there's a way, you can overcome a lot of the everyday worries and fears by processing it in your body and in your system. And that is the alchemy process that we're doing all the time, that we've been talking about, to allow the body to process and not to build up. And so it's like we have this huge fire heart here that is, it's like the Agni fire heart, digestive, like that can really digest what we're going through. Because if we're gonna have horsepower, we have to, and that's the courage, like I have the courage to do this, even though it feels, even though I have fear, even though it's scary, but I'm bold. I'm having the like the no guts, no glory kind of, but it's not in a risky way. It's more in a calm and grounded way. Now I'm gonna join Simba's wellspring session, internal alchemy, fascia session in 10 minutes. Freedom to do that. Okay, so how are you experiencing the fire horse? Day 1 on the fire horse. How are you? Do you love it yet? Do you feel anything yet? Are you noticing anything yet? I had a big shift in my body. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Spots open for the mastermind. Spots open for the one-on-one sessions. That's all I'm going to say. Drop into the Telegram group if you want to drop me a question or a comment. Like and subscribe if you enjoy, and have a good time, and Happy New Year. And I will see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.